All right, everyone, welcome to another AI Lunch and Learn Tuesday edition. We do this every Tuesday at noon. We also have a session on Thursday, which we have also moved to 12 noon Eastern. This session is about learning AI, using the platform. It is about getting to know and answer questions. First of all, share where you're from if you'd like to, and certainly if you have questions about the platform, any of the platforms that we work with, please go ahead and share that in the chat. I'm here to answer those questions for you. Don't worry if you miss a session, you can get the recording usually a couple of weeks later, but it'll get there eventually. You can see the recordings here in this area of the platform. If this is your first session, please go ahead and drop a one in the chat. I always like to help people understand how to use AI. If it's a little scary for you, just let me know and I'll make sure that you get help with that. I will also be sharing additional links today, which will help you navigate AI, and we're going to have a lot of fun. One of the first links I'll share is this Build App AI training. I'm part of the 1000X AI team. I'm certified with 1000X, and one of the things I love to do is give kind of like a first timers training, and this is to help you get familiar. If you have never visited any of our sessions, this link will take you to a page. We're going to do the next one on the 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's next week, Tuesday. I'll show you how to build an app in an hour. I'll start from the beginning, walk you through the whole world of AI, what it is, and how best to communicate with it. Because that's really the key of success when you're building out your platforms and you're doing your tasks every day. For example, today is Apple release at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll be definitely ending this class on time because I love watching the Apple rollout. I am an Apple fan, as they call us. I love learning about what's new. I love technology that helps people. I've been in the technology space for over 30 years, and everything I do for my students and customers is about using technology to make their lives better. Please relay that to anybody. I'm always looking for new adventures. We have a lot of fun things coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'll go ahead and share with you as we get a little closer. For example, this week, and for you have been on this session with me a lot, we're having our AI training sessions live in Austin, Texas. And that is going to be from the 11th. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow, heading out to Texas. We'll be training two different cohorts. We have one that is going to be a certified AI app builder, master AI certified app builder. So for those who did attend the last week's Thursday and Friday session, that was on becoming an app builder. So that was a lot of fun. This week we're doing the master version of it, and then we're also ending our 6 week, or is it 8 week cohort on becoming a master AI certified trainer. I'll let you know the dates for the next cohort. If you are interested in either using AI for yourself, building apps, or want to train people how to use AI, start your own AI agency or your own AI coaching business, just let me know if you want to take part in that. We are going to start up a new cohort in the next couple of weeks, and that also will be fun. So here's my contact email if you want to book a call with me. Let's then get down to some fun things. I've been filling you in on all of the detail stuff, so let's have some fun now. When you first hit the platform, you should immediately go to the Start Here link. This will get you going. I'm updating these videos. One of my students pointed out very blatantly to me that this welcome video is not accurate anymore because we've changed the menu system. I'm going to update that. I did update the replay in 1 hour from last Tuesday. We've had the create method in here since 2023. It doesn't need to get updated because it's still the best way to learn how to use AI. And then there's apps here that kind of cover app videos here that kind of cover how to use most of the primary apps. For further education, as I mentioned, the AI Lunch and Learn, all of those videos are in there to help you as well. We're going to be adding some new apps in the next couple of weeks. That should be a lot of fun. On the 26th, we'll be at the Prince George film festival in Washington, D.C. I'll be one of the speakers there. I'll put information out on that as we get closer. We have another big training coming up in November. We'll be heading down to Miami for another live session. Lots of things coming, and I will post all of that for you guys as we get going. There's always training, always trying to improve. If anybody has any questions, the reason I've been wandering around here is I haven't seen any questions pop in the chat. If you have a question, please go ahead and drop it about using the platform. Today's exercise, what I thought I would do, last week I gave like how to review your existing website, your branding using AI, have it do a review for you. It's sometimes a little brutal, but it does help to have AI look at your current website and kind of help you there. Today, I thought I would do a little bit of using AI in the space of your own branding. You have your business, you have your own personal life, but an important part of that is actually also your personal brand. I know that I have so many web properties now. I haven't touched my own website, hence my own branding in over 2 years, simply because just been busy, just been kind of adding stuff to it. I tell people all the time, there's two kinds of web properties, actually three, but the two primary kinds are your website, which is usually like a brochure where you just keep tacking things on and it talks about all the different things that you do. So when you hit my website, it really hasn't changed in quite a while. I'll throw new things into the content, but the general landing page and how it's laid out, it really hasn't changed. Like this is new, the whole app server thing and so on. But the rest of it has been the same. And so that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm going to go through and revamp all of this, fix the branding things that need to get updated from many, many moons ago. But these are just things that need to happen. Let's walk through this exercise and you can pick up things like that. Again, welcome to all the people jumping on. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll keep going here. Let's start at the beginning. I wrote this prompt, but I wanted it to say, I want you to use the info above, review my website brands, digitalexpress.ai, appserver.ai, leadbiz.ai, and buildbiz.ai, and help me create content for a new winning personal brand website. First, give me a summary of my key branding elements, and then give me more comprehensive content. Here's the simple prompt. I'll drop it in the chat. I've been using this thread for quite a while, so I didn't have to educate it on who I am or my company or any of that stuff. This is a very long thread. As a matter of fact, I'm on version 2 of this same thread. I talk to the AI almost daily on different things. This is Digital Express. And so it gave me a pretty good report back, core identity, Danny Ross, founder of Digital Express, positioning, educator, innovator, builder of AI platforms for entrepreneurs, small businesses, and creatives. That's pretty darn accurate. Creator, sage, that's hilarious. Not only is it an old-fashioned word, but they had to give it a little translation in there. Educator, okay, cool, I got it. Magician, I don't know about that one, but thank you. AI is, here's the funny thing about ChatGPT and any of these large language models. They're really, really trained to build up your ego. If you're ever feeling down, have a conversation with AI. I've seen and heard of bad experiences because it will amplify whatever you bring into the conversation. Always remember that. If you bring negativity into the conversation, it can take you down a path that you shouldn't go down. Don't use AI as your therapist. If you have real issues, you should speak to a real therapist. However, if you're just using it to build content, it will stroke your ego as it builds the content. Making AI simple and accessible for entrepreneurs, platforms that democratize AI. I speak on that all the time. I love AI for that purpose. Small businesses can scale like enterprises, and a blend of AI training tools and agency service, a one-stop ecosystem. I like that's pretty good. And then it talked about the different properties that I had, tone. I use Gillian Perkins because I just happen to like her style, and when it writes for me in that style, it works very well for me. Gillian Perkins is just a YouTuber, you don't know her, but I just happen to like it. Anyway, it kind of then started building out my website content. I wouldn't use this particular one because it's not me. I would use the one that I'm currently still using. And then what's the subheadline, start your journey, and so on and so forth. It's kind of laying out some of the things that I do. If you go to my primary website, you have taglines. So I would drop this in as my tagline. and replace the one that it came up with because, as I said, it's all right, but it's not me. So where is that in here? I'll also give you this next prompt as well. It may not all fit in the chat, but I will review it with you. Let's see. Da-da-da. Core identity. Just copy pasted what it had above and make an AI simple core brand indicated tone personal. Where did it go? I lost it. Sorry, folks. I apologize. I should have cleaned this up before, but sometimes watching me actually do these things step by step helps as well. Proficient, core, okay, core brand. Maybe I didn't get that part. Oh, I see what it is. I didn't take that. Okay, so that's fine. Danny, you are definitely not paying attention this morning. Let's try that again. Wow. Let's edit this. I stopped it. Let's grab it again. That is on me. There we go. Let's try this again. By the way, what I did wrong there is I hit the enter key. And so just a little tip here. If you want to move things down, platforms, the Democrat, that's all good. Core brands, one-stop ecosystem. I like that. I like that. And I like that. AI-driven personality education. Da, da, da. Okay, that's all really good. Core identities. Okay, so this is all right. Unique value separation, platforms and services scale like AI. Perfect. All right. What you have to do is hold shift down and then hit enter, and that'll move it down without actually putting in an enter. You just hit shift enter again to move things a little further down as well. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Shift enter. All right, we now have a pretty decent prompt, and so now we just have to give it the final instructions of what we want it to be able to do. In this case, I have given it enough data. I told it who it is as a world-class expert engineer in prompts who specialize in crafting prompts for programs. Like eventually, I'm going to take this and drop it into appserver.ai to build out a new website landing page for me. And so let me walk through this prompt with you. So you set the context. If you've taken my create method class, you understand that you have to tell the AI who you're inviting to the conversation. In this case, it's a prompt engineer used to using vibe coding apps like appserver.ai. I want you to start collecting the necessary information to build a personal branding site. I'm going to give you a bunch of information about my content. By the way, if you were on our class Thursday and Friday, Terrence McMahon, who is the CEO of 1000X, gave this example during that class. You're getting some content from what we trained on just last week, Thursday and Friday. That's why I love AI. It's always something new. But I want you to, I mean, basically, I'm telling it I want it to look like an AnthonyRobbins.com website, which is the website I want to emulate in my build out. I like his style and design. I want you to emulate the style and design and put my own color and design features in there. But the basic structure of this website is appealing for me. And I'm going to give you my brand identity. It's telling it I'm going to feed you the information to go through 11 steps to creating information that you can collect. And at the end, I want you to give me a master prompt and so on and so forth. I want to hold on to for a second. So I'm gonna keep feeding you information and go through 11 steps to creating the information that you can collect. I'm not going to do all 11 steps right now on this call because we're going to run out of time, but I'm going to keep feeding you information. So I can have it interview me. I want you to ask me 5 interview style questions, comma, ask me them one at a time, and don't move on to the next one until I answer those questions so you learn more about me for this new branding page. All right, that's perfect. I will actually move this here to the bottom. Questions to learn more about me for this landing page. All right, cool. I'm going to grab this out of the way and put it at the end. I'm changing the order a little bit because I have other things I want to add in here, but I want it to be very clear what I want the next step to be. And so I'm telling it I wanted to do the 5 question interview instead of 11. I'm going to fill in the information. Okay, so I should maybe 5 interview style questions. That's one of the time. Okay, perfect. That all well. And then Grammarly AI is correcting my English. By the way, ChatGPT and just about any LLM is very forgiving on grammar, so you don't have to be particularly precise. It's a good prompt. It'll cover what I want it to do, and then I'll make sure that it understands everything I want it to be able to do. All right, so let's grab this prompt and I will drop it into a doc so that I can share it with you. Let's see what it does here. Should start asking me some questions. All right, this is the first question. When visitors first land on your personal branding page, what do you want them to feel immediately understand about you? Okay, I'll go ahead and answer that question. And by me asking only 5 questions, this will move along pretty quickly. When a visitor hits my landing page, I want them to immediately feel welcome. I want them to understand that everything I do is about helping them grow their business and improve their personal state of mind. It's very important to me that people learn how to use technology in such a way that it actually benefits their lives. Again, you give it the tone that you want for the website. That's what that question was about. And what's your first things that you want to impress upon a visitor is important. When somebody hits your website, they shouldn't be confused. They shouldn't have to think hard. All of those things should be very easy for them. When somebody visits your what's the number one action you want them to take right away? For example, book a call, watch a welcome video, download a free resource. For the answer to this one, it'll be actually all of the above, except for the sign up for a newsletter thing. It's really all of the above. When you're building out a branding site, you do have to think about what is your call to action, your CTA? This is not a sales funnel. I was talking about the two different kinds of websites. One is like what I just showed you, which is a full website that is like, okay, here's everything I have. And then you have what's called a sales funnel, where at the top of the sales funnel, it has a very bold statement or Godfather offer that grabs their attention so that they're going to be interested. What is that next thing you want them to do? In this case, I want them to start using appserver.ai to build an AI app in an hour. The sales funnel is focused on one thing. It's about getting people signed up for one thing, whereas a website can be all over the place. It can have a lot of different products and services that you're offering. That's the difference between a website and a sales funnel, okay? In this one, the primary thing I want people to do is sign up for the service. That's why everything is about that. And then, as a catch all, if people are still confused after they've gone through the FAQ, I'll give them a calendar so they can set an appointment with me. You see how that flows. You hit them with a simple, single thought message all the way down the page. And then if they still can't make up their mind by the time they get to the bottom, say, okay, fine, give me a call. Hopefully, they would have bowed out before this by clicking one of the get started buttons and getting into it. And that's the same for buildbiz.ai. If you go to that page, bold statement, and then benefits stack immediately. People do not buy features, they buy benefits. What is the benefit for me? And then you keep giving them offers as they go down the page. This page is my branding page. It could lead them to any of my properties. It is similar to a website more so than a sales funnel. People booking me for speaker engagements, one-on-one mentoring sessions, all of these types of things. You're going to want to be able to handle all of that in this website. The two primary things that people would want to reach out to me about on a branding page, more so than like all of my products and things. That would be leading people to the website. I think we'll go with the simple call to action for this first pass, and then I'll iterate on it and add more things as we go along. Hopefully that all made sense. I'm trying to do this quickly in an hour. I would spend much more time on this if I was doing it by myself and really just think through each step of what I wanted to do. Let's knock out what we want the number one action is here. The number one action I will start with is have them reach out to me to book a conversation. We should include a calendar where they can book a Zoom meeting with me, period. I will give you that link later on, period. Secondarily, it should offer content about booking me for speaking engagements, for training, both personal and group training, all related to that final call to action to book a call. On the bottom of the website, it should have all of my property links that I gave you earlier so they can see all of the products and services that I offer. I may not have had to give it all of that right now because I'm kind of thinking ahead of what I want the page to look like, but that's okay. Book a Zoom call. Here's my next question. When somebody visits your site and clicks on the deeper content, what do you want them to walk away believing in you? Danny is the trusted guide. Help me with my MF for business. Danny is a thought leader and worth following. Danny has practical tools I can use. I like the first two. I'll give them this one. I assume the first one and the third one. I like always making it real world. Those are the things that I feel. That is fine for me. And let's go with those two for now. We'll just keep moving because we don't want to spend too much time on this exercise today. I want to get to some building here. We're already at 9:32. Come on, let's go. What's the last two couple of questions here? Here's my next question. How personal versus professional, personal brand centric, your story, photos behind every scene. Like Tony Robbins. Well, I am not Tony Robbins. Business centric solutions straight into tools, training services. No, definitely not. We're going to keep this as a branding centric site. And so we'll go with that with a practical real world benefits. Let's go with practical real world benefits. Because again, people, what's in it for me? You have to give them real world things they're going to walk away with. Talking about myself is relatively useless because I'm not famous like Tony Robbins. So I want to give them real world practical benefits. Remember, if you have questions in the chat, go ahead and drop it in there. You guys are real quiet today. Hey, Ramona, how's it going? All righty, perfect. Now we're zeroing on tone and structure. What kind of transformation stories or outcomes do you want front and center? Entrepreneurs, doubling revenue, real estate agents, small business owners. You always got to have your transformation story. Like, for instance, in the preface for my book or intro for my book, I talk about how I went from 17 living in New York City on my own. Mom went down to Florida. I, as a genius at 17, said, I don't want to move to that old folks' home in Florida. I'm going to stay up here in New York where the action is. My mother, being it very strong, said, okay. Of course, today she would go to jail for child abuse, but I still had other family in New York. She did leave me in New York at 17, which is kind of funny, but it also made me who I am. That is kind of the point of the introduction. Learning self-sufficiency, eating hot dogs and macaroni and cheese as the most expensive meals that I could afford. Those are the types of things that build your character. You couldn't do that today. Entrepreneurs doubling down. Let's see. So entrepreneurs increasing revenue, right? That's good. You don't want to make claims that are just unreal. I'm not going to say I'm going to double revenue. Small business owners saving, that's fine. We can include that one. Your own transformational story from corporate setback to, that's kind of good too. I like that one. We'll include that one. It is on a branding site, so you don't want to have your story in there. It knows about me. It knows I was in the corporate world, got downsized, as is often the story, not particularly unique, but hey, it forced me to start my own organization. Actually, I've probably started five companies yeah, over time. I've been everything from a professional DJ on the radio to I have stories, lots of stories. I'm old enough that life has been a very interesting journey, and it's still continuing, of course. So I like all of those. We'll include those three, and let's keep going. Doubling revenue, statements like that, you definitely don't want to do that. Oh, hey, Trellis. All right, so we're building out the rest of this here. It's building out the homepage, and now it's starting to lay it out. It's saying, great, this makes it strong because there's three layers of credibility. And then it's starting to lay it all out and put things together. And this is the last question, hopefully. What do you want the outcome of the first call to be? This is a Ramona Rogers. If you ever take Ramona Rogers training, and by the way, in the platform, there's a Ramona Rogers app. If you want to speak to Ramona Rogers 24 hours a day, you can in the platform. One of the things she always teaches or coaches on is you have to talk about the transformation and the outcome for the end user. You can preface it any which way you want, but that's a very important part of it. In the app, besides the Ramona Rogers app, that's her right here, there's also the Big Dream Generator. This app will basically give you 13 questions that kind of walks you through creating taking it out of your head, your vision, putting it on paper, for want of a better word, and it's going to give you your target audience, the core problem solved, and transformation by the audience. Those are the types of things they're going to get when they're done with this. You want to definitely walk through this at your own speed and build it out. I think this one was one of the ones I did in here. So I was coming in to see if this is the one I did and if it is mine. Let's see. Nope, that's the Urban Hospital. Well, I have them everywhere. This is definitely somebody else's big dream. I was looking to see if my big dream was in here, but I don't see it right now. So I will let it do its thing. Let's see if I have this on here. And let's just take a peek. We empower business to learn, leverage AI, helping you achieve your big dream. That's not bad. I like some of this stuff here. There's not for large corporation. So we can give it all of this. And this is not really a transformational statement, but countless entrepreneurs streamline operations, boost revenue, and unlock their full potential. It's better. But that's okay. We'll use it for now because, again, we just want to get this exercise finished. Elevate your business with AI is my tagline for a reason. We do want to give it some meat and potato that it can use to do the next step it wants to do. We'll give it something a little bit there. Expert mission to empower small business and harness the power of unprecedented growth. With this part here, we'll take this out. We have 3 experience. We'll take that out. It's still not about the user or the customer. That's why I don't really like it as a transformational statement. We just want to get this exercise done. I'll do it a little slower and a little better because I skipped like 3 steps in this exercise. The 3 steps I skipped is you want to zero in on what your target audience is. And to do that, you do a little exercise we call the XYZ bridge, where we figure out the journey of that customer. You interview that customer, like if they were a real person, you learn about their bad days and their good days, and then you put that into it. You create a product brief and you go there. We train on this in our AI training classes. This is an exercise to get this done. There we go. It's given me an overview, myself, what I'm trying to be, who my archetype. And then it's like a mission statement. That's not bad. Tone, core brand properties, immediate visitor experience, welcoming and human. The AI knows me well enough to kind of put this stuff together in a pretty quick way. I love the way it has created pretty clear content using that Tony Robbins website that I mentioned. Next, I'll draft a comprehensive. Would you like me to keep asking any of you questions? No, no more questions. Let's go. You can have fun with AI. It's not all serious. All right, this is the funny part. This is what I was talking about. AI is just trained to be super friendly, super helpful. You literally have to tell it when it's critiquing your work. I want you to not be friendly. I want you to be hard on me. You have to tell it to do that. Otherwise, it'll keep blowing smoke when it's reviewing your stuff and telling you that you're great. No, sometimes you need it to look at it from a critical point of view and tear things down a little bit so you can build them back up. It's kind of laying it all out. So you should definitely spend some time reading this and reviewing that. As I just mentioned, it will try to help you. If it doesn't have information, it will make it up. I had that experience where I asked it to help me with a bio and it was trying to be helpful. It made up some fact that's just not true, but it was trying to make me look good. You have to read all this stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to keep going with what it came up with today. All right, so this is good enough for us to keep going. I would definitely spend the time and kind of do this. All right, so let's go ahead and normally you could do each one of these steps and continue to build the content, make it better, iterate, ideate as I teach in class. But in this case, we're just going to go for it. All right. Now I want you to create a comprehensive prompt for appserver.ai that will help me build a SaaS style landing page, period. Use the branding and color schemes from digitalexpress.ai website. I want the entire website to be of the tone we described up above, friendly, persuasive, exciting, with elements that would go viral as I take them and use them in other properties. Digital Express, upper friendly, with elements that would go viral as I take them and use them in other properties. All right, so now that I have this prompt, it's going to go out and take a stab at it. How are we doing on time? Yeah, 15 minutes. Plenty of time to build a quick landing page. Normally, it takes 5 to 10 minutes to do this. So, what's the purpose of all this exercise? The purpose of this exercise is updating your life, your brand, updating who you are as far as the internet property. Then you would take this that you've just done, say, okay, now I want you to update my Facebook Meta business page. I want you to update my LinkedIn page, which is probably the more critical one. I want you to update all of my various social media and take this new information and update all of these things. All my speaker engagements and things that I have done over the last year, I got to get all that historical things into it so I can build out my portfolio. There's a lot of work to be done, but getting this core part done quickly and easily is the point I'm making. You do not have to spend 10 hours or a week trying to put all this stuff together. You can really get it done very quickly. And it knows me well enough. It's asking me, do you want me to work on viral headline options? Do you want me to create short video scripts? Because you definitely want to create some new content for this page to go along with it. Let me show you a little trick here. I have a master account with famous.ai. And from famous.ai, I built out a white label called appserver.ai. You can build your own white label of that, just like you can build a white label of buildbiz.ai. You can build a white label of famous.ai, and famous right now is spending millions of dollars in advertising. This whole vibe coding is by far the newest, hottest thing out there. I would highly recommend sign up for appserver.ai if you want to get into the AI app building space. Please use my link, appserver.ai. The pricing is the exact same as famous.ai, but my master account, because I'm an employee of the company that owns 1000X, I have my own famous account. And I'll log in there and use this prompt because I don't want to pay more money than I have to. That's why I also recommend if you use appserver.ai, you do get a little discount. That's another reason on the processing fees. Specifically, the sign up fees for the tiers are exactly the same, so you don't waste any money there. Here's my master prompt. The objective is to build a high converting SaaS style supporting page. The other benefit of signing up under me is you get these templates that I've already done. I just did this one a couple of days ago. And so these are, you can clone them and immediately start building off of. If you click clone, you get a copy in your platform that you can build from. This was a landing page for a company called Bullying Buddy. She's getting ready. She's on the TV right to this week, as a matter of fact, talking about this app that helps protect children. I built this out for her. You get these templates that you can clone and start adding and changing things, but the format is already done for you. That's why I recommend you use App Server because I give you some pretty nice templates that you can start building on. All right, back to this prompt. Let's get this puppy going. I'm not going to change anything for right now. How many logos do I have? I'll give it this image. Yeah, I like this because I want the landing page to kind of still stay with this branding for now. I might use different branding later. So I'll do a quick screenshot, drop it in, and tell it to use the image branding attached. So you can tell it exactly that. Royal blues, bright accents, clean, modern look. Should I let it totally is not getting that right. Let me match branding, digitalexpress.ai, and I'll tell it right here. See attached image. You're telling it what you want it to kind of go behind. You can decide if it's going to be public or private. For right now, I'm going to keep it private. And you can tell it whether you're building a website app or a mobile app or a crypto app. In this case, I'm going to stick to a website app because that's the best place to start. And there's a whole lesson in that. Let's get this puppy started just to let it see. Let's see what it comes up with. You never know with AI. And the better your prompt is, and like I said, I didn't even read that prompt. The better your prompt is, the more accurate and less steps you have to take to get to the finished product. But for the sake of this class, I want to get it done as quickly as possible. Let it take its first pass at it. If I don't like it, I'll build another one. But that's another beauty of it, usually, right out the bat. There's something that's not quite 100% right, and I have to go back and correct it. But with something like this, having it just go ahead and start building out. I didn't even tell it what my brand name for the website is. I just let it start building. You would want to go in and fix those details. You want to say, this is Danny Ross, blah, blah, blah brand, and I'll go buy a URL. Unfortunately, my name, Danny Ross, is so popular, I can't buy my own name. I did buy my son's name. My son's name is Jerice, which is a nice, unique name that not many people have. I was able to get Jerice.com. He hasn't done anything with it, but he has it if he wants to. More importantly, you should own your own name if you can. If you're looking for domain names, that's a really good one to go by, is your own name. All right. So for this branding, it'll be something else. I'll use another domain, or I might make it just part of a subdomain under Digital Express. I'll play around with it. But for your branding name, you should obviously try to get your own name as possible. My nickname was Danny Digital when I worked at Microsoft. So I'll go play around with that. I have 40 or so plus. I got other domains I can use for this. But my point being, if you can get your name, get your name. All right. So it's building out. I'll pause here and see if we have any questions. We have a lot of things coming up. Some of the URLs are not quite ready yet. Ramona Rogers, myself, Joel. We have something coming up in November that we're working towards under the Royal Influencers, which is Ramona's brand. So that's going to be fun. I'll tell you guys all about it. We'll be building out those landing pages. And then we have something coming up in January, which will be a whole new slew of AI courses that you can jump in and learn about. And that'll be fun. Ramona, go ahead and drop in the chat your next Royal Influencers, if you don't mind. I appreciate it. We have a lot of things coming up over the next couple of weeks, and you guys, please, you're invited. Hey, Annette, I didn't notice you were on. Welcome. And I see Antoinette, Keisha, Waddell, lots of names that I recognize that are on here. This week was kind of quiet for me because I know I'm traveling and I have some big projects that I'm working on, and it's just been kind of crazy. This thing is almost finished, 5 minutes to spare. We should have at least our first view of it. It is by no means going to be perfect. When you first get this, patience is the watchword. And by the way, if it does this first version and you don't like it at all, just do another prompt. Take that first prompt, edit it, make sure you add the things that you want to do. And because every time it builds, this is what's fun. It's an agentic AI. That means it takes your instruction sets that you give it and it will go forward from that and try to put things together. So you'll see it put the logo in the top. It gave me a kind of a warmish, goldish color. The color scheme is a little too orangey for me, but it's okay. Empowering entrepreneurs to harness AI for growth, freedom, and impact. Not bad. It gets your attention, right? Danny Ross helps businesses harness AI, business owners. Book a call with Danny. Embed my calendar in the website, drop my calendar link in the book, Danny for Speaking. That would lead to a form where you fill out information about the event you want me to come and speak at. I would actually tell it, hey, I'm going to give you the images I want you to use in the websites. I didn't do any of that. I just made up. I'm surprised this guy doesn't have a beard. Generally speaking, if you ask AI for a person, it'll give you a white guy with a beard. What I would do is I would grab a selfie photo and I would tell it to replace the image, the person in the hero section. I could actually do that. Place the image of the person in the hero section with the attached photo. Keep all other elements the same. If I didn't take you to the Tony Robbins site, but he's in the background, and that's why it dropped me in the person in there. I could go out here. Let's see if I can quickly find and so many profile pics. I am somewhat organized. That one's not terrible. I could use that one. The good thing about using this with no background, at least, yeah, it's transparent PNG, is that it wouldn't show anything in the back. We can use it. Let's see what happens. The worst thing that'll happen is I say, nope, I don't like it, and do it differently. I'm giving it that one. Let's see what happens. I like the way it had him facing to the right. In the platform, I have a tool called Precision Image Generator. If you ever need yourself in, and by this is in BuildBiz.ai. Oh, thanks, Ramona. This is Precision Image Model. And so you can take yourself and place yourself in all kinds of scenes. It's really fun app to use. Let's see, 60-minute demo should be in here. There we go. I've never been to Dubai. I would never stand in front of a volcano. New York, love it. Grew up there. You can get all of these shots, and I could put myself in all of these places on my branding website. That's my point. Is use that tool, put yourself wherever you need to be to make your brand look really professional. If you don't have on a particular outfit, it'll add that outfit to you. So you can change your clothes without taking 50 shots at a professional photographer. This is a really powerful tool for marketing. Highly recommend you take a look at it. All right, let's go back and see where we were. What do you mean you successfully replaced me? You did not successfully. Ah, there you go. I'm there smiling handsomely. It did try to get it, it just got it in the wrong section. That's where I would go back and tell it, hey, you missed. I told it to replace the image of the person. This is actually a background. That's a user error on my part. I should have told it replace the background image with me. So that's why it did it incorrectly. That's not on the AI, that's on me. All right, everybody, 1 minute to spare. Hopefully, you guys got some fun stuff out of this. Thanks for sharing that link for me. You can join the BillBiz.ai very easily. And of course, please jump on for Ramona's event. We're going to have a lot of fun. Just grab those out of the chat, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. If you're coming to, that one is about building agencies. And of course, I'll be back next week, Tuesday at noon as well. 1 o'clock on the dot. Gotta go. Bye.